Hello and welcome to all you Pisceans. This is your monthly horoscope for April of 2020 in general for the sign of Pisces. So in ascendant, the sun sign or the moon sign in Pisces, particularly the ascendant, and to a lesser extent, the sun and the moon. But these are general horoscopes, remember, so this is not tailor-made. If you want that, if you have a specific problem, context that you want to know a bit more about, just get in touch or find yourself a good astrologer that resonates with you. Having said that, let's have a look at what's happening in April. There is not that much happening in the sky, so it's a more gentle month, so to speak. But there are three things that I want to talk about here. I don't want to make those videos too long. I want to make them precise and concise. And let's have a look. I want to talk about Venus because it's going to be very long in Gemini. I want to talk about Uranus because this is going to be a Uranian month. It's a Uranian ride as it receives a lot of aspects during the month of April. And I want to talk about Mars and Saturn in Aquarius. So let's start with Venus. Venus, the planet of love, the planet of attraction, the planet of making a choice between this is good, this is not so good. It's going to be extremely long for you in your fourth house, which is the core of your horoscope. It's the bottom of the horoscope. And it's going to be there as from the 3rd of April, going forwards the whole month of April, next month going backwards, retrograde, and then going forwards again at the end of June. And then it really is a period where it's in Gemini up until the 7th of August. So this is extremely long. So we will all have an area of life where normally it's like 3 to 4 weeks that Venus is there, and now it's like 4 months. So we're all going to have Venusian qualities arising there in a specific area of your life. So having Venus in a very emotional house, in the house of feeling at home, with yourself, emotionally stability, but also literally at your home, it's a very good position to have Venus there for such a long time. Especially the Pisceans that have felt like emotionally not stable. This is a period of time, and I'm not only talking about April, but actually up until the beginning of August, that you have an opportunity to improve your emotional stability and to improve the connection that you have with self on a very deep emotional level, but also literally with your home and also with parents. So there could be a reconciliation going on with a parent. Let's say that you haven't heard a parent for a long time. It is a good time during that period to reconnect with each other, especially actually the next month. It could also mean that you can see a parent, for better or for worse, through a different kind of perspective here, with Venus going backwards and forwards in your fourth house. It could also mean that you want to beautify your home and that you're doing this during this specific time. And I'm talking about the software, not the hardware. So the curtains and painting and all of that, it's a very good time to do so. It's also a good time when you live abroad, for instance, and going back to your roots. Now in April planning it, and then eventually in May doing this and going back to your roots and reconnecting with people your family, so to speak. So also a nice time to enjoy yourself a bit more at home. So where Venus goes in your horoscope, it shows where you can expect some more enjoyment. So when it goes throughout your fourth house, it means feeling good at home. So by doing a bit Gemini kind of stuff, Gemini, it could be reading at home a bit more, or giving yourself or inviting friends at home, inviting people from the neighborhood at home and to have a good conversation with. So all in all, it's on a very deep emotional level that you have an opportunity to feel better. And also when you had, for instance, a bit of a restless time with family members or at home, it was quite, it wasn't peace at all. Now you can refine your peace with Venus there transiting this house for such a long time. Now, another thing that is happening is Uranus is, I said it was a bit of a Uranus kind of month because it's receiving so many aspects. And Uranus is in your third house, and there's going to be a new moon there as well. Around the 23rd of the month, there's going to be the new moon together with Uranus. So that could be a lot of things, but there's something unexpected, Uranus, and also a sort of a new beginning, which is a new moon, happening in that third house of yours. So unexpectedly, there could be a change in the lives of a sibling, neighbors, in the neighborhood, a short trip that all of a sudden you're gonna take. But also, it has to do with certain news that you could be receiving. And that has to do with that Venus that I just talked about, because it's ruled by Venus as well. So sudden news that unexpectedly comes in, and that is a bit like shaky there because it's with Uranus, and that demands of you to stay cool and to master your steps that you're gonna take. And I say this as well, to master your actions, because at the same time, Mars and Saturn is in Aquarius in your 12th house of the unconscious. Having these two planets, Mars and Saturn, for the whole month, and of course Saturn for a couple of months, but Mars there for the whole month in your 12th house, can make you a bit more restless than usual, can make you a bit more that you can't find your peace there, that it's difficult to withdraw. You know what they say about a Piscean, that Pisces people are people that are, it's the water element. And they connect so well with other people. They have so much empathy that sometimes they take along other energies, and you have to be careful with that, with Mars in your 12th house, not to taking anger of other people with you. And all of a sudden events that happen that really has nothing to do with you, or not much to do with you, that you take it too much towards yourself. So be aware of that. And but having Mars and Saturn in your 12th house is an amazing time to battle addictions, good ones, bad ones, of course, but addictions always seem to be bad. But I mean, big ones or small ones, because Mars is battling and Saturn is mastering. So I've seen it quite a lot of times when Mars and Saturn is passing the 12th house, that people really start tackling their and taking action slowly but surely towards their addictions that they have having. Whether it is smoking, whether it is eating the wrong food or whatnot. But there is a possibility to do that. And this Venus, by the way, is beautifully trining this energy as well. So Venus is trining the energy of the 12th house. So you could be really improving this by being supported by family members, or just being supported from a very deep place inside of you that is very, very strong and authentic. And so a lot of water houses are activated, but you as a Piscean, you can deal with that quite well. A very deep month for you, Pisces. Not the most life-changing month, not at all. But I think months where you can really deal with improving your emotional stability, improving therefore, of course, also your relationships. So there could be some truths coming out very honestly with Uranus in your third house, and also with the new moon there. And, because of that, you can start all over again. So that could be, again, very, very positive for you. And when it comes to work is not really in the picture here during the month of April. So, but I think with having Jupiter and Pluto in your 11th house, especially when you work for yourself, you could gain a bit more, a lot more money. When you work for yourself, and because Jupiter and Pluto, certainly the first week, is still very close to each other. But other than that, it's a very smooth month for you. And it's a month where you work behind the scenes, the 4th house, the 12th house. These are very deep houses where other people don't see what you're doing. It's about you and your inner strength. It's a month for inner strength, dear Pisceans. Having said that, thank you so much for watching, and see you soon. Thanks, and see you soon for another time for the monthly horoscopes. Bye bye.